I'm 20 years old. I'm an activist and organizer from Brooklyn, New York, and I organized last night's march for Daniel Prude. When I saw the brutal murder of Daniel Prude on camera, I was sick to my stomach. This black man was laying face down on the ground begging for his life with a bag over his head, naked. They treated my man less than a human being. So I had to do something. I put out a call to action, and my New York City organizing family came around me to support it immediately. Because let me tell you something. I am far beyond walking in fear. I walk by faith. My God got me. This movement is greater than me. I'm 20 years old. I've been putting my body on the front line since I was 12. 8 years, blood, sweat, and tears. All literal. When I saw that car plow through the crowd, my mind immediately went back to Charlottesville. I was one of the youngest counter-protesters in Charlottesville, Virginia on August 12th, 2017. I was there from start to finish and witnessed everything. When that car plowed through this crowd last night, all I could think of is not again. This cannot be another Charlottesville. So the black organizers on the front line sprung to action. I pushed whoever was on the side of me to the side to make sure that nobody was hit. And we did what we had to do. So to the people that come out here and try to agitate us, to the white supremacists that send me death threats, to the police that beat up on me and arrest me. You can kill a revolutionary, but you can't kill the revolution.
My name is Nale Carmonsego, and I am an organizer for Strategy for Black Lives. We have been in these streets for the past few months. It feels like 3 years. And we should not have to be out here for this long. We shouldn't have to be out here at all. But we are. And every day, every time we step foot in these streets, we risk our black bodies being killed, being strangled, being stopped, being hurt, period. Black women, black men, black trans women have been on the front line fighting for all black and brown lives throughout the entire country. Last night was one of the most traumatizing nights of my life. And that says a lot, because I am a gay black man, so my whole life is trauma. I am standing here today because I am tired of fighting this fight. I am tired of people believing that this movement is a violent movement when we do nothing violent, day in and day out. Protesting is not violent, that is exercising our basic human rights. Marching is not violent, that is exercising our basic human rights. We have been marching for hundreds of years, fighting for hundreds of years. It is 2020. This should not still be the way that we demand justice. This should not still be the only way that we are seen. Last night we were in these streets, and today it's just a lot for me to even think about right now. Our voices are not always appreciated. That moment yesterday was for us. They came and they sought to disturb our non-violent protests. They sought I don't even know what they wanted to do, really. I don't even know why they were there. But they were there. And they were arguing with many of us, trying to portray us and change the narrative of like who we are as people. And the cops were facing us with their backs towards them, as if they were protecting them from us. And this is not the first time they've done that. They do this every protest. Every protest. Every time there is opposition, they always face us as if we are the threat. But then go to social media and other platforms and call us little kids. So you're scared of little black kids. You're scared of little black kids.
They here to listen. They here to listen.
I nearly witnessed, no, I did witness every single one of my peers who have been coming outside to march for my black life every single day in all different types of weather conditions die. Die. Dozens of people, dozens of bikes destroyed, dozens of people in destroyed because everybody was traumatized. And like I said before, we are no stranger. We are not strangers to trauma. But last night was an attempt to kill us, an attempt to murder us. And so we are here today because something needs to happen. Something needs to happen. Something needs to happen, and it needs to happen now, because I am getting angrier and angrier by the day. And we are getting angrier and angrier by the day, by the minute. And there's only so much we can take before we pop. Commissioner Shea, resign. You suck.
I'm really, really excited.
Say it again. Say it again.
I am really, really excited. And I'm excited because although these incidents of escalation against Black Lives Matter protesters are becoming more and more each day, what it's saying to me is that white, privileged, racist America is quaking in their fucking boots. They are quaking in their boots because change is on the horizon. And they can see that we are the generation that will overturn 400 years of systemic oppression against black people. And they are quaking in their boots. Because everything that they thought to be true about America has been turned on its head. As the NYPD is quaking in their boots, they are so desperate that they are rounding up their friends and giving them cars and vehicles and protecting them, escorting them, and encouraging them to run over protesters. They are quaking in their fucking boots. They are intimidated by us. They want us to be afraid, but in reality, it's really them who's afraid of us. Because we are not the minority. The people in this country who want to see change, the people in this country who want to defund and abolish the policing in America, we are not the minority, although the media would want you to think that. We are the majority. We outnumber them. We will not apologize for calling for the abolition of policing in America, afraid. And we are here to say that even if you kill one of us, you cannot kill all of us. And so I'm just here to serve notice to the persons who've been trying to kill us and to the persons who have been sending us DMs, telling us that they're gonna set snipers on roofs to kill us. And to the people who tried to run my friend over on his bike the other night on his way home. And to the police precinct who dispatched over 30 police officers to our friend and fellow organizers home the other day. We are here to serve notice on you that we are still here and we will continue to be here until the fight is won. And the message is that we are here to defund and abolish policing in America as we know it today. Nothing changes. And I am also here to say that until we get everything that we have been demanding, we will continue to march in these streets. Work to be done. There is work to be done. And that work is not going to be done. We are not going to overturn centuries of systemic oppression in 1, 2, or 3 months. It's not going to happen. And if it takes a year, you should be here. If it takes months, if it takes years, if it takes until next year, you should be here with us. When Ayanna Stanley Jones was murdered, we begged for reform. Tony McDade, Eric Garner, we begged for reform. And we are here to say that we are no longer begging. And we are here to say that the time for police reform, it's too late now. Now you want to do reform and now it's too late. Because police reform is a band-aid on an oozing gun wound. And that is what is happening right now. Black America is laying on the table and we are bleeding out. And we do not need a fucking band-aid. We need surgery.
The people that we're demanding change from, it's our local elected officials. And they keep on giving us the same response. They are shocked. They are horrified at what they're seeing. We're shocked and horrified of that happening as well, because it's happening to us. But we have a voice, and that voice has power. And that power moves beyond chanting and marching in these streets. That power is even louder when we go to the polls. And listen, the general election is very important. It is very important, but it's still a lot of noise. There is an election right after the general election here in New York City. There are 36 seats up for city council out of 51 seats. There is a mayoral election next year. We have the chance to use the voices that we are using in the streets, at the polls, and to change the tides of New York politics. We need a cultural shift here in the city. We need to reimagine what policing looks like in the city. We need to renew our relationships with our elected officials. They work for us. We pay their salaries. So they need to represent us when they step into office. Information is at your fingertips. We have technology in our pockets to access that information of knowing who will represent us the best. Again, there are 36 seats up for city council next year. Look up your district. Look up who's running in that district. Look up if that person is running to represent you. And if they're not running to represent you, then you have to run yourself.
Now don't hear me. They're going to be one of the 37 seats running for New York City.
city council that's going to be responsible for a $90 million budget that's going to get these crooked-ass officers off our force. They're going to be the ones responsible for providing true, affordable housing in New York City. They're not going to be biased about it. They're going to be doing it in integrity. They're going to be listening to the people. And all of this bullcrap that we've been fighting right here in the concrete jungle for years before gentrifiers like yourself decided to come back to New York City when you thought it was best to leave when we took over those neighborhoods. I'm telling you, it's uncomfortable, but it's the truth. So this is the action. Y'all need to support them. These are not NYU, St. John's, Columbia, Rutgers. These are people every day fighting hard. And if you want to put an end to this, vote them in. Peaceful protesters like myself and my brothers in my organization last night had to legitimately walk home and cry. Walk home and become traumatized. Walk home and become broken. This system is not failed. This system is not broken. This system is designed to do what it's supposed to do. No more will I cry when I see young black children getting killed. No more will I cry when I see black women being disrespected. No more will I cry when I see ego, narcissism, toxic masculinity in this movement of us fighting each other. That has to end now. When you talk about young people, you make sure that you keep liberation in your hearts, and that liberation shouldn't be an hour, a month. That liberation should be forever. Keep black trans women in your hearts, black queers, black non-binaries, black men, black children, black young girls, black young men. We are out here fighting for our lives, and y'all do not see us. Majority. Last night, I witnessed my brother Hercules almost died with me because of that car, because of some agitators, some Trump supporters. But you know what? We're not going to let them have their 5 minutes of fame. We're not going to give them the time that they want. We got a president talking about making America great again. When was America ever great? If you watched that video last night, the one that I've watched over and over again, I'm the guy who was wearing the yellow poncho, who was saved by Larry. Folks, I'm standing next to a hero. Y'all not hearing me? This is what I'm talking about. I'm standing next to I'm trying not to curse because it's not about. He saved my life. He saved my life. He saved my life. I am aggravated that I'm being told that because nobody died and nobody was seriously injured, what happened last night was not enough for them to do a full investigation, for them to keep this man behind bars. When we say no justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. Many of us have been out here for many, many, many nights, one after the other. Larry's one of them. Larry's younger than me. And Larry has been leading the way for generations to come. My children. All of these people I stand with behind me have been marching for my children. and your children. All of you standing here, these people have been marching for your children's future. A car ran a red light. I wouldn't have been standing before you right now, but I am. Last night, I was almost hit by a car. I wouldn't have been standing before you right now, but I am. Clearly somebody and something has been trying to take our people out, one after the other. We are under attack. This is not a game. This is not a drill. This is not a joke. These politicians, can I talk about it? I'm tired of seeing them tweet and post the stuff that I can post and tweet. If you're gonna tell me I'm not ready to be elected, you better do something different than me. And that's how I feel right now, because all day, all I saw was, this didn't look good, let's look into it. No, crap, that didn't look good. I would not be here watching if it were not for a goddamn video. So, let me talk about what I really came here to talk about, because I have to get that part off my chest. Trauma, mental health. Let's not forget what brought us out here last night to begin with. It was bigger than Daniel Perdue. It was about mental health. This man was suffering before the cops made him suffer and die. He needed help and support, and instead they turned him into a casket. Think about that. Think about that. And now, think about all the other times that we've heard it's just a mental health problem. They didn't mean to shoot up a whole church, a whole hotel with an AK-47. Mental health, folks. Mental health.